Okay, good evening. I'd like to call the, well, I thought I had the agenda. Can I have the agenda?
I'm sorry, did I take yours? You gave me this one.
Yeah. Special meeting of the Board of Education to order. It is 6:58. Can we have a roll call, Mrs. Larson?
Yes. Mrs. Evans.
Here.
Mrs. Witkowski.
Here.
Mr. Alexandrovich.
Here.
Mr. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Gamble.
Here.
Mr. Sprague.
Here.
We are all present.
Thank you, and the meeting has been properly posted. Item 2 is Board President resignation, and that is me. And if you read the agenda, looked at the agenda, you'd see that I have a letter of resignation in there. I could read it. I don't really. I'll read it. I sent it in on July 22nd, 2020 to our board clerk, Mrs. Larson. Please accept my letter of resignation from the office of Board of Education member effective midnight Wednesday, August 19th, 2020, due to serious health issues with an immediate family member and the hardships I anticipate to encounter during the months ahead. In relation to caregiving, I am no longer able to fulfill my duties as a board member in a manner that would allow me to commit the full attention I am accustomed to giving to the position for which I was elected. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as a Board of Education member since 2009 and to have been elected as board president by my board colleagues for 9 of those years. I have enjoyed working with each board member, with Dr. Miller and our directors and administration. I am proud of our staff and students and all that our Franklin Public School District has achieved. I wish the board and Franklin Public School District continued success in all future endeavors. And with that, because just to make things run smoothly, at this time, I would like to resign as board president so that a new president can be in place for the beginning of the school year. And I'm also going to sanitize this. And I will pass it to our acting board president, Mrs. Witkowski.
Thank you. I think before we move on, though, we want to say a few things. And first of all, I'm first Janet, and I want to present to you this certificate from the Wisconsin Association of School Boards in recognition of your 11 years of service and 9 years as the board president. It was a pleasure to work with you all this time, and you always stood up to the challenges facing the district and provided the needed leadership, and you will be missed.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
On behalf of the school board and Franklin Public Schools, I'd like to present you with this recognition of your service to our district.
Thank you.
And then I prepared something. Take this off while I read it. Mrs. Evans, Janet, I'm not quite sure where to begin. I feel as if you've been here as long as I have, and believe me, that's saying something. Our work together on the board has been a roller coaster ride, to say the least. Highly contentious at times and surprisingly cooperative at others. Honestly, I wouldn't have changed a thing because I know for myself, I've grown not only as a board member, but as an individual. I also know that we both had the best of intentions in each decision that we made. You and I have talked at length many times about our families, and you know how much time I love to spend with my own. But one of our favorite things to do is quote from movies, and then we shout out which movie it's from. So keeping that in mind, here are a few quotes to describe our time together on the board. So please, everyone, feel free to name that movie. Yes. Janet, do you remember the first time you won the presidency? I do. I'm certain you wanted to walk out of the ECC and yell, "I'm the king of the world." That was from the Titanic.
Yeah.
Do you remember the time that we battled over insurance benefits? I do. You really put my presidency to the test, especially when you got up from the board table and moved to the back of the room. That was an exceptional move. It made your point loud and clear, and you truly stood for your beliefs. I respect you now for that, but at the time I wanted to say, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too.
Wizard of
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
We talked and thought and debated and researched and then talked some more about building that beautiful middle school across the parking lot. When we finally came to our collective decision, we were proud to say to Dr. Miller, if you build it, they will come.
Field of Dreams.
Yes. At the beginning, I didn't know where to start, but here in the end, I do know how to finish. Janet, you are kind, you are smart, you are important. That's the help. Please know how much I appreciate you, your passion, your knowledge, your candor, and your baking. I must admit, I once thought of you as an opponent, the enemy, someone I would never imagine seeing eye to eye with. But with time comes growth, maturity, a new day will dawn, and with that dawn came a new beginning. I can't pinpoint when that was. However, I know I no longer look at you as a foe, but as a friend who I admire and very much respect. Thank you for your time and effort on the board, for the community, staff, and most importantly, the students. You will certainly be missed by all, but most definitely by me, my dear friend. Hasta la vista, baby.
Thank you.
Mrs. Evans, Janet, I have the wonderful honor of presenting you with some flowers from the director's team tonight. And I've asked Dr. Reuter to say a few things about you.
Oh, they're very pretty. Thank you very much.
So Janet, we gathered some thoughts and characteristics of your leadership on the board, and we're going to start with a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. There's no doubt that board service is one of the toughest services of others there is. On behalf of the director team, we want to thank you for your 11 years of service to our students, staff, and the greater Franklin community. And we are grateful for the 3 characteristics we're going to speak to this evening. The first being advocacy. You always make decisions with an unwavering commitment to students and making them the first priority. Your preparedness is exceptional. You are astutely prepared for every single meeting. You seek out information to understand and ask thoughtful questions, reflective questions, and ensure you are always fulfilling our mission as a school district. And your devotion is unwavering. Your love, loyalty, and enthusiasm for the people of this community is active and present in every single interaction you have. You demonstrate this over and over again because with your tireless time you spend within our schools, at all of our programs, at all of the community events, and we've seen that appreciation of Franklin come true. We'll miss you for these 3 reasons and many more, and we're grateful that you got lost in your service for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm last. I'm like the scarecrow, right? Talk about worthy. So I put together a little picture for you, Janet. You'll see Tim's in the picture here. I think it was one of my favorite pictures of Janet and Tim together. And there's one of you and I as well. And then this little girl here, who I think was a favorite of yours, is a little 4K student who I asked her to smile, and she looked at me kind of sideways, and I said, smile, and then she held up her cheeks and made a smile. So come up here and see it later, if you will. But it's just something I hope you can hang in your home and enjoy and remember.
Thank you very much.
So, yeah, I do feel a little bit like the Scarecrow and the Wizard of Oz. There are things I want to say, but I know that our relationship's going to continue. I am extremely lucky to have had worked with you as a new superintendent. Oh, boy, this is hard. I appreciate the knowledge and the challenges that you brought to me, but also the support and the care. And I just view you as a mentor and will continue to view you as a mentor. And finally, I just respect the integrity that you brought to this position and to this school district. So, thank you.
Thank you. You're really all very kind. I didn't expect all of this, I really don't like attention, and I think you know that.
We're not done.
Yeah.
So our other board members would also like to say a few things. If you would please start, Alan. Nope.
I wasn't prepared for anything. I didn't know this was going to happen, but we will definitely miss you. You have been one hell of a leader with this board. Very proud to have known you. And the only other story that I'll tell is that the reason I'm on the board is because of Janet. We were both in line getting ready to vote, and Janet turned to me and said, "Have you ever thought of being on the school board?" My answer was no. He said, "You should do it. I think you'd be good." Here I am.
Thank you.
Yep, I'm next. Janet, you know, in your resignation letter, the thing that stood out to me was when you said that you would not be able to commit full attention that you're accustomed to. And the thing that has impressed me the most about you is that you do commit your full attention to the job that you did, or that you do, and you always had the best interests of the students, the district, and the community in everything that you did, and thank you.
Thank you, Claude. Thank you.
I think I've said it before. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and Debbie was right. There were some up and down moments, and you were tough and did what needed to be done. So your leadership was definitely, we really appreciate that leadership and the stability that you provided to allow us all to look as good as we do. You made us look good, and thank you for all that work that you put into that.
Thank you.
Janet, thank you for your dedication and service to the community. The board, the school district, and the community are losing an incredible resource and leader, under whose direction the schools have flourished for over a decade. So thank you very much as a new board member. I really appreciate the help you've given me over the year and a half we've been together, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, I have to echo the dedication you've shown is just remarkable, unfathomable. The community events, being out and about, it sets the bar very high for whoever succeeds you. And I just want to say thank you for your service. It was an honor coming on the school board and serving with you. And the accomplishments of this district over your tenure have been nothing short of outstanding. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I don't know what else to say, but tomorrow will be the first time I can think in my adult life that I haven't done public service of some sort, but my husband's really sick, so thank you all. I think that's enough attention on me. So. Thank you.
Hey, I guess we are now moving on to agenda item number 3, which is a board officers election. With Janet's vacancy, we will now be electing a new board president. With the office of board president vacant, we will now hold an election for that office. Without objection, if there's only one nomination, the vote will be done by voice vote. If there is more than one nomination, we will vote by secret ballot, which is only permitted during officer elections. There is no second required for a nomination. Upon election of the board president, he or she will then preside over the meeting. I will now take nominations for board president.
I would like to nominate Mike Sprague.
That's all I have to say, right? Yes? Take Mike Sprague.
I would like to nominate Larry Gamble.
I'd like to nominate myself.
I would like to nominate Linda Witkowski.
Are there any other nominations for board president? Are there any other nominations for board president? Are there any other nominations for board president? Nominations are now closed. We will now vote, and Jim has the paper. Oh, yes, vote. So we have nominations are, I can't get my glasses on. Mike Sprague, Larry Gamble, Alan Skrovitz, and Linda Witkowski.
Thank you.
Oh, fold them and can place them. Jim, are you picking them up?
I'll pick them up.
You'll pick them up, okay then.
All right, we have one vote for Larry Gamble. One vote for Mike Sprague. One vote for Larry Gamble. Abstention. One vote for Linda Witkowski. A vote for Mike Sprague. And a vote for Alan Alexandrovich. So we have Larry Gamble with 2 votes and Mike Sprague with 2 votes, and the others with 1.
So there is no majority, so we will now open up the nominations again. So I will now take nominations for board president.
I'd like to nominate Larry Gamble.
I'd like to nominate Mike Sprague.
Are there any other nominations for board president? Are there any other nominations for board president? Are there any other nominations for board president? Nominations are now closed. We will now vote.
We have one vote for Larry Gamble. Vote for Mike Sprague. vote for Larry Gamble. 1 abstention. A vote for Mike Sprague. A vote for Mike Sprague. And a vote for Larry Gamble. 3-3.
We do not have a majority, so we will, again, ask for nominations for board president.
I'd like to nominate Larry Gamble.
I'd like to nominate Mike Sprague.
Is it possible to have either candidate give their experience, or is that not appropriate in this instance?
We can have discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be very appropriate.
Are there any other nominations for board president? Are there any other nominations for board president? Are there any other nominations for board president? Nominations are now closed. However, if you want to open up for discussion, we can have discussion now. How did you want to approach that?
Just either candidate, maybe give us a little synopsis of your experience or why you'd like to be the board president.
Sure, I'll start. Let's see, 4 years on board. Community involvement. I think Franklin Public Schools is a diamond in this area. It's one of the things it's having a great school system ensures the integrity of this community. And even right now in these uncertain times, both economic and with the pandemic, the schools district has to be able to continue to move in the right directions and face the challenges ahead of us. And it'd be an honor to serve as president alongside our outstanding administrative staff. I didn't prepare for that part.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Mike?
Mike?
Thank you. I would, well, I've been on the board, as you know, for about a year and a half. I'm the newest board member. I have been in Franklin for 13 years and have been involved in the schools ever since my kids got to school. I have 2 kids in the schools going into high school and going into middle school. I have been PTA president at Countrydale. I have been PTA vice president. I have been extremely involved in the activities of the schools, in my liaison assignments, and I'm learning an incredible amount, but I also feel as if I have an incredible amount to give, and it would be an honor to serve as president of the board.
Thank you. Any other discussion? We will now vote.
for Larry Gamble. A vote for Mike Sprague. Vote for Larry Gamble. One abstention. A vote for Mike Sprague. Vote for Mike Sprague. And a vote for Larry Gamble. 3-3.
Okay, we still do not have majorities, so I will now accept nominations for board president.
I'd like to vote, nominate Larry Gamble.
I will nominate Mike Sprague.
Are there any other nominations for board president? Are there any other nominations for board president? Are there any other nominations for board presidents? Nominations are now closed.
Discussion?
Yes.
I just want to say, okay, you're at a stalemate, and I've been abstaining because I don't think I have a horse in this race. So, obviously, your only choices are, somebody has to change their vote, or you have a vice president that could stay as your vice president, which is your choice if no one changes the vote. So these are your options.
So in other words, what you're saying is Linda would remain as acting president.
If one of you doesn't change your vote, I mean, these are your options until next year, where I'm just saying, or else I can vote, but I don't think I should vote. That's my opinion. So that's just what I'm saying. But I'm just telling you that is, these are, so obviously you can't go on like this all night. So,
But you certainly can vote.
well, I don't think that's right that I vote.
Why? You're a board member.
Well, I am a board member, but
You
it's
know,
not my president.
but you know the people on this board better than probably everybody else. Your opinion is valuable. To keep Linda on and make her the president for the remainder of the year, no offense, but it seems like from the board standpoint, there are two other people that they value more.
Let's just vote and continue.
Okay.
One vote for Larry Gamble. One vote for Mike Sprague. One vote for Larry Gamble. One abstention. One vote for Mike Sprague. 1 vote for Mike Sprague. 1 vote for Larry Gamble. 3-3.
Well, we have student have a majority, and Jen, you mentioned, well, I think we're back nominating. Do you wish to continue, or how do we want to? I'm just saying, should we do another round, or do we have other?
I guess I would echo Alan's sentiment that, Janet, maybe you should vote. You are still a member of the school board until midnight tonight, I believe. And we are at a stalemate right now.
Well,
This will be our 5th vote.
I would like consensus from the board that I should do that.
I think that you should vote.
I don't see any
Mrs.
reason
Evans.
why you shouldn't.
All right,
no
then I
reason
will.
not
Still a
to.
board member.
I have more here.
Well, that's another reason then.
I have more.
Great reason.
Okay, then I guess we are open for nominations for board president. Do I have nominations for board president?
I would nominate Larry Gamble.
I will nominate Mike Sprague.
I would like to throw my hat back in the ring, if that's okay. And are there any other nominations for board president? Are there any other nominations for board president? Are there any other nominations for board president? Nominations are now closed. And if I could, I would also like to share my statement, just like the other two
Oh,
did.
yes, of course, I'm sorry.
Okay. So I have also been on the board as long as Debbie and along with Janet over 12 years. I just won re-election. I have also been a very involved parent with my 4 children. I have been very active with Wisconsin Association of School Boards. I have been very active in board development. I have achieved a level 5 with WASB, so I am committed to being a good board member. I come prepared, and I would like to be your board president. So that's all I have to say. So we can now vote.
I have 1 vote for Larry Gamble. A vote for Mike Sprague. A vote for Larry Gamble. A vote for Larry Gamble. A vote for Linda Witkowski. A vote for Mike Sprague. And a vote for Larry Gamble. Larry Gamble, 4 votes, Mike Sprague, 2 votes, Linda Witkowski, 1 vote.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, congratulations, and we will pass this over
Bring the agenda.
in the agenda.
Let's see. So we're going through the whole packet.
No,
Nope.
now you move on
Now,
to
item 3?
Item
4.
4, yes. Item 4 is reapportionment, or reappointment of CISA 1 delegate. That's an action item. Mrs. Evans?
Yes, thank you. As the board knows, you appointed me as the CISA 1 delegate for this year, where I also was elected vice president. I am also on the Board of Control, and that is, I was elected to a 3-year seat. The seat is actually a seat for Franklin Public Schools. And I did send out, when I put in my resignation, I did send out an email to the board members to see if anyone was interested, and Mr. Sprague was interested. Mr. Gamble also asked about it, but Mr. Sprague does have an interest in the seat. I did explain it to him. I don't know if you still are interested.
Yes, I am.
I think you would make a good representative for CISA 1. They do meet monthly. Right now, you have a choice of meeting in person or virtually. And again, it is a 3-year term. I met last night there, so your next meeting, if the board elects you, would be in September. So we do have to have a vote on that if we want to vote Mr. Sprague, unless anyone else does want to be nominated for that. And then Lisa would have to send an email to Mary Gavigan and Lauren Bice to let them know who is elected. So I would like to nominate Mike Sprague for that position. I don't know if you'd like to ask if there are any other nominations.
Are there any other nominations for CISA 1 delegate? Any other nominations for CISA 1 delegate? Any other nominations for CISA 1 delegate? Hearing no one else, Mike Sprague is our only nomination.
Oh, we have to vote.
We have to vote if it's just
Yeah,
one.
we have to do just a voice vote.
Okay. Voice vote, please.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Congratulations. Mr.
Congratulations,
Sprague.
Mike. Item 5, new board member vacancy appointment discussion. Dr. Mueller.
Okay, so earlier this evening, we updated our policy with regard to filling the vacancy. So we would begin that process of following the state statute with regard to noticing that vacancy, and then within those 60 days, conduct interviews so that you could determine an appointment to the board. So those of you who've been through this before may want to explain to other board members who haven't what that process looked like in the past. And I would then recommend that we move forward with the noticing, collect the candidates, come together again prior to actually interviewing the candidates to discuss the process itself. So that's what I would recommend in terms of how we'd proceed. But I know Ms. Evans, Ms. Witkowski, Ms. Larson, they've all participated in the past in appointment process. So if any one of you would like to explain that to other board members, I think that would be helpful.
Well, I happen to, Dr. Pats was superintendent at that time, and I, as board president, sent out an email to all the board members asking them for 2 to 3 questions on behalf of the board that they would like to send applicants. Because the applicant has to send in a letter of interest to the district administrator. And then, so when the board members sent the board president 2 to 3 questions, some of the questions were the same questions. And so we put together those questions to send to the applicants so that they filled them out ahead of time. And then also during the interview process, which was a special Board of Education meeting, which is recorded, each board member went around and asked the same question to every applicant. So that was a different question, obviously, than was sent out for the applicants to ask, to fill out ahead of time. So that process went pretty well. Mr. Alexandrovich was here too. I thought the process went well.
Mr. Gamble was the one who went
Yeah.
through the, I
Right,
think,
I
most
went
through the
recent
process.
And Dr. Baird was an applicant also, but, so, I mean, obviously you could do whatever you choose, but I thought the process for asking questions worked well. You just have to ask the same question to every applicant when you go around the table, and we did it in one night, so.
Sounds good.
Other thoughts? Perhaps we wouldn't have to convene, but if there's a larger number of candidates, we might need to convene to just determine, like, how we'll manage a larger number of candidates and work our way to a finalist. So I think it's a matter of casting the net, basically, see how many candidates we have, and if there aren't a number of candidates, following the process you followed in the past seems to be appropriate and work well for the board. So my job is to make sure that gets noticed right away. And then knowing that we have the 60 days, we'll determine what date we'd actually conduct the interviews. And I can do that doodle survey to get some dates from everybody to make sure that everybody is present for that.
And it has to be an open session, and the vote has to be in open session, and it can kind of go like it just went now, too, because
Yep.
There can be ties.
Any other questions or comments about that? I'll move that process forward, stay in communication with you. I'll look for dates for the actual interview. Start thinking about the questions you're interested in asking a potential candidate, and we'll put it all together. Okay, thank you.
Item 6, I was looking for a motion to adjourn special meeting of the Franklin Board of Education.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Evans and seconded by Alan Sandrovich.
Adjourned at 7:41.
Aye.